Hola.
Hola. How are
Hey,
you?
Leslie. Hey, Kath. Hey, Kaz.
Hello.
How do you guys like Kaz? Smoked, or would you like her rare or medium well?
And they're all going to be wondering why the dickens is Ma asking that question. Well,
Oh.
have I got a story for everybody that's going to have them either rolling out in laughter or crying, one of the two?
Yeah, tell your story why we wait a couple minutes.
Okay. Well,
I'm
today
gonna have
I
to
had
mic down so I don't laugh.
laugh. Yeah, mic down, woman.
Do you like her well done, rare, medium, or over easy?
All right. I had to go for some tests today. And these tests I've been trying to get done for the past 3 weeks. And something keeps coming up. So I rock up at the place I had to go to this morning. I get in there. They tell me I have to strip off from the waist up, lie on the bed. I get glued up with the imaging jelly. I'm lying there and I'm thinking, gee, my cataracts are really playing up today. It's a lot fuzzier and smokier than it normally is. And then I've thought, I can smell something. Then all of a sudden, the fire alarms start going off. And I'm thinking, oh my God, what's this? And the receptionist comes running in and she's going, Mrs. B, you've got to get off the table, get dressed. We've got a fire in the building. And I'm saying, pardon? And she's saying, you've got to get dressed. And the girls all
I'm
flustered.
dying. I'm
Hang on, I've
sorry,
got.
but this is the third time I've heard it, and I'm over here still dying. I can just see this.
Well, I'm not a young spring chicken, and gravity has taken a hold of my body parts. So I had to fling the right boob over one shoulder, the left boob over the other shoulder, grab a towel, put it around me, try and grab my top, try and put the top on. Now, this is very hard when you use a cane and you can't walk very fast. And then all of a sudden, the receptionist comes running in again. She's going, "You got to move your butt. You got to hurry up. You got to get out of here. The fire engines have arrived already. We've got to get out." So I'm limping with my cane, trying to get out. Then I realise I've left my purse in the in the room. So I'm going to go back in. They wouldn't let me back in. I said, I can't go anywhere. My keys are in the car. I'm half naked. I'm trying to put my top on. I've got my boobs hanging down on my belly, or they've come off my shoulder. I couldn't put a bra on. So so I finally get to the car park and they tell me I have to walk across two lane highways to get to the other part of the street. And I said, I can't walk across. I can't walk across with a cane. I said, I'll die. I'll die. I'm getting in my car. You can't. I said, yes, I can. You watch me. And
Oh
I'm
my god.
coughing because I'd taken in some smoke. And so they said, um, you need to see the ambulance. He needs to check you out. And I was saying, no, I'm fine. And they kind of, I'm still half naked, sort of. And they're saying, I've got to wait for, I've got all these gorgeous fireys walking around, and I'm trying to protect my dignity. Or the girls trying to put my top on, get my arm through it so nobody sees. I couldn't get the bra on. And then the ambulance comes. He wants to take me to hospital, but I wouldn't go because I wanted to get my car out of the way. So, yeah, I had a very interesting morning to say the least.
Okay, but tell them when the fire trucks come, and then you stop and tell me.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
they were cute,
Well,
by the way, and then I
oh,
felt the
yeah.
hose.
So I'm trying. They've got the fireys coming around my car because my car's parked directly in front of the fire mini pumping station for the complex. Well, I'm thinking I've got to get my car out. So all the pipes are filled and they're trying to put the fire out, and I've got to reverse over those pipes, and my car goes bum 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 as I'm reversing, and then I didn't realise my wheels were sitting on the on the
Hey,
actual
Linky.
hose, so I've
Hey,
stopped the
Nana.
hose from going. and I had to put him back into drive, and I go over him again. Boom, 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 and I'm thinking, oh my god, the fire is going to think there's something wrong with the pumps. And in my rear vision mirror, as I'm pulling out after doing the going up the pipes, is the fire running down, trying to find out why the water supply is not working.
Oh, you got me choking.
Oh, oh my god.
I
What
mean,
a
hey
day.
Lanky, hey Nana, McNana. I don't know why, but I could totally see you, the pink hair, out there trying to get to the car. Like, you know what? I'm out of here. I'm like, I'm good. I'm getting home. I'm going home. Have a good day. I'll see you next week.
Oh
Oh,
yeah. So it was an interesting morning. It was. I told my husband. He laughed. That's how much he loves me. Nearly died in a fire, and all he's doing is laughing because I'm half naked trying to get across, a bitumen car park, trying to put the top on with a cane.
only you, Kaz.
I know.
He's
Lanky,
like,
the reason you're in blue, babe, is because you're a mod.
oh, she knows she's a mod.
And yes, you are a member.
We love Lanky. Yeah, take a
Indeed.
break. A break.
A
A break.
brink.
I've been looking over on the other side of the streets lately, and I'll tell you, when you need a good laugh, it's definitely interesting over there. All
Oh
right.
my lord.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I am definitely consumed with this case. I don't know if I'm consumed. Think I'm consumed, Kaz?
Yes, but rightly
Is
so. Right. All right.
Ah, I won't call you that. Well, you're the one that brought that in here. I don't know why, but the McNana stuck.
Dude.
Okay.
Hey, you know what, Ma? I
Hmm.
can smell smoke.
Oh,
Somebody's.
stop.
No, I'm serious. I'm serious.
Well, you better
Somebody's
go
got a
make
grass
sure.
fire. My nose is sensitive after this morning.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I'm gonna mic down.
We need to drop that the lady's link that you were talking about earlier. Oh, thank you, Linky. I love Linky. Okay,
Which
so
link, huh? Oh,
we're not going back to the beginning. We're trying to get into some missing pieces. So I have to admit something. I was wrong on the part of the Lena case that I blamed Pamela Allen for, I think. Well, I might not be wrong, but I had it reversed. After digging and research, from what I'm gathering, is Luong, the interpreter, brought Pamela to Lena's house.
sweet.
And I truly hope that Pamela contacts me. I would really like to talk to Pamela Allen because I think she could just answer a few questions. Like Sherry finally came in and said, "Hey, you got the story wrong, you dumbass. John Vasquez is my father." I'm like, "Stop
Yeah,
lying. That's your husband." And you're Jacqueline Vasquez's mom, so stop hiding. I know you're not on the birth certificate, but I'm still saying that you're her mom. Hey, Shredder.
Oh, have you seen what Shredder wrote?
Hey, DD. But what was funny is Kaz stopped and said to me, they were cute firemen too. I thought, and you couldn't even get a picture of Australian firemen.
Oh,
You
you
know,
know,
that's just rude.
I know. I just didn't have my priorities right. I'm sorry. Oh, Sherry's saying repeat. What?
When I was convinced that Sherry was, I had to apologize because I told Sherry that John Vasquez was her husband, but it was her father. I was trying to tell her, you're wrong. It's your husband. Anyways, so with Pamela Allen, I honestly, after researching the timeline, the videos, and brain dead, I know. I think that maybe she came after Luong's interview on the 22nd or 23rd.
Yeah.
But we still have, there's still a lot of shade going on. You got 3 people involved, 4 people involved. Now you've got with shady backgrounds, and I'm gonna say it, Pamela Allen, her co-conspirator Shannon Titsworth, right?
Yep.
But she goes by Shannon Martinez.
Yeah.
And then we've got Nina Glass, Delina Glass, SATX. She got a record, right?
Yep.
That's three of them. Who am I talking about? We have a fourth conspirator. I'm not going to mention any names tonight. That's got a record, the same bullshit that's been around. Pretty scary stuff. And then I start to ask myself and second guess myself, and I say, do these people have it out for Pamela Allen? And then I had to call the maintenance man today, the one that was supposedly taking pictures of the little girls. Because something is not right, guys. And we're going to go over the timeline. It's almost, God, Cass, what am I trying to say? I know I'm brain dead, but
there's just things in the timeline that we just wanted to clarify and make sure that we dotted our I's and crossed our T's. And it's just strange how when you re-watch a video again, you pick up things that you hadn't seen before, or you hear things that you hadn't seen before.
And some things you know now that you didn't know then.
Correct.
I mean, I'm not saying, this is a new question that's popped in my mind, which is right here. So let's start with the timeline, because this timeline has been a week of me going over 30 pages of every single video to see what I'm missing, what was different, anything.
Yeah.
And, there was one time when McManus said on the video that they had a person of interest, but he couldn't talk about that. Whatever happened with that? I mean, it went from December and the beginning of January, it was like constant, and now it's just kind of like everyone, just stop searching, she's gone.
Yeah. It's just weird.
Even Chief McManus says, because we're going to watch it in this video, we're only going to do December tonight, guys, because there's a lot. There is just a lot to this.
Yeah,
but the one part I do want to touch on tonight is that weird rustic part. Even though we're not going to talk about that month, I want to look at that video, because that to me just really stood out.
Yeah. Because you heard something different to what I heard, so...
You're right, Nana. She has to be somewhere. Shredder. Yeah, we see a couple of things in that area, Dee Dee. That's a whole nother ball game. I mean, there's a lot here between that and Bexar County.
Sherry.
But another thing that's been on my mind the last 2 days, actually since watching the video last night, when the mother goes and she's gone for that, what you'll hear McManus say from the videos, he also says if we had video surveillance that we couldn't really make out, that's another reason why the FBI came in, because they have the tools to like make the video more clear or whatever the magic that they do.
Yeah.
He says that in the video too, that when you go back and you're like, what? Well, whatever happened to all of that? So that tells me they had video.
Exactly.
That they were looking at. But let me ask, here's the question that bothered me since last night. The mother could see the playground from the building, and she left to get a water. McManus and everyone says there was lots of moms and kids out at the park, dog park, whatever. And it's just that perfect time that she goes to get this drink that Lina's gone. That's another reason why I have to believe it was somebody she knew. 18 minutes.
It's not a lot of time.
Oh, Nana. Hey, Leisha. I hope your mom and your dad are doing good. I think we should call you Flapjack Kazaroo. Okay, so then we know December 20th, Lina goes missing 4:30 to 5:10, but some articles the time is different. One has her missing at 10:30 a.m. Then 21st that day we get the Amber Alerts issued. And we're just going to watch we're not going to watch the Amber Alert video, but this is the video I want to really touch on. This is McManus's first update on December 22nd when they talk about searching the apartments, cars going in, cars coming out, surveillance. This might be the one where he also mentions that they had people, a couple of persons of interest. All right, let me stop the ambiance.
Oh, Alicia, oh, well, I hope your mum starts improving too. It's awesome that your dad is.
Hey, you
Shredder,
animal.
stop it. Shredder said the booby trapped me.
Ah, Alicia. What's good news about your dad? The booby trapped. Yes, that's the name. The booby trap. She will trap all your information too. Woo! I told her today, Kaz, just pull up my background and get it over with because I know that you're going to pull it up anyways. And I told you everything that's about me. So
Yes.
she pulled it up and read my background. And I said, I told you
Mm-hmm.
21 years ago. I was in jail for 7 days. I didn't lie about that. And that was it. And a ridiculous expired tag insurance. When you get a divorce and forget that you're the one that has to pay insurance and renew the tags.
See, if I ever
Um,
divorced my husband, he would be in that predicament because he wouldn't know what bills paid when they're due. He has no
it just
idea.
slipped my mind. It was one of those things slip your mind. You get pulled over by in Florida for your little light being out or something like that, and then boom. No license, no registration. Even my license was suspended because the insurance went out. I had no clue what was going on after the divorce.
Mm.
But I'm going to tell my story, and I've already said this a year ago that I'm going to tell my 7 day jail experience story.
It's funny, guys. It really is.
I really wish I would have went to the judge and said I'm not going to take this and then fight it and get off because we did. But I think I'm going to go. I should have went in front of the jury.
You should have.
That probably would have been fun. Nana, this was 22 years ago. I was young. It's the craziest story, but it's funny. But I'll tell you what, the state of Florida does not mess around. Okay, let's check out. This is the video. McManus the day after Lina went missing.
I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, I'm gonna mic down too. This is 10 minutes long, guys, and I'm not gonna interrupt it.
This is hot. Okay. Those of you who are still watching our stream, we are waiting to start our press conference here. Should be starting any moment now. Thank you for your patience.
Was that? Yeah.
All right, guys, that's full blast on the volume, so.
Everybody ready? Yes. So I'm going to give you an update on what we've been doing. I'll tell you up front that we have not had much success in trying to determine where Lina is right now, but I'll tell you what we've been doing to try to get there. But first, I want to thank a number of people who have been assisting us in this search that are not involved in our department. So I want to thank the FBI for their assistance. Last night, I spoke to the assistant agent in charge and asked them if they would send their their child abduction rapid response team. But I want to make clear that we are not treating this as an abduction right now. They can provide resources that we don't have to assist us in this search. We are not treating it as an abduction right now. We are treating it as a missing person. I want to thank the FBI for that and their continued assistance. USAA, who has been very gracious to allow us to set up our command post on their grounds. VIA, who helped transport our cadets this morning from the academy to help us with the search. They searched a number of wooded areas in that area. The Red Cross, SAPOA, and the 100 Club for providing food to all those that are working out there. HEB, who has also provided us assistance in providing food for the workers and some other things, and a couple of community leaders, Saqib Sheikh, who is with the National Children's Education Center, and Noor Mohammed, who is one of the community leaders that has been helping us connect with the community in that apartment complex. They've all been instrumental in helping us carry out our duties as they're related to this search. So right now we've got two different command centers. We've got one at UTSA, and we've got one here at headquarters. The one here at headquarters is reviewing videos that we've gathered along with help from the Bureau, and they're accessing other resources that are only available within this building as opposed to at the command post. Our search is continuing. Tomorrow we will continue to search the areas that surrounding where we've already searched. We will continue making as much contact with the community as we can, trying to find someone who knows anything about Lina. And I mentioned it yesterday that if anyone has any information at all, whether you think it may be helpful or not, let us make that determination. 210-207-7660 is the number to call. That is our missing person section, and that information will be passed on immediately to those working the ground on this case. And that's all I have for you right now. Unfortunately, as I mentioned, we don't have any further information as to where Lina may be right now.
So you do have video footage that you're looking at. Is there anything that shows a person of interest, a vehicle, anything that we could tell people to look out for?
Yeah, no, we would put that out immediately if we did. There are dozens and dozens and dozens of video footages that we've recovered, and we continue to look for more video that may be out there that we've overlooked, but we have not come across anything yet that may help us as far as the video goes.
Can you talk about the difference between the case being handled as an abduction versus a missing persons case?
Yes, if it were an abduction, we could either be looking for an individual, or we would have evidence of the child being abducted, and hopefully a tag number or a suspect to go along with that. Right now, we don't have any of that, so we're treating it as strictly as a missing person. That may change, but right now, it's still a missing person.
Chief, can you talk about the communication barrier with trying to get that message across to the community, the Afghan community in that country?
I think that we've resolved our communication issues right now. We have an interpreter that things are flowing smoothly with that being said. But initially it was because, again, the dialect that was spoken by the family was not a common one, I'm told.
What kind of footage are you reviewing? Is it like video from Ring doorbells, or is it from the apartment complex?
It's anything that we can come across. Anything that we find, we're going to review, whether it's a Ring or whether it's somebody's personal videos, a house video. No matter what type of video it is, if it has information on it that we're interested in, then that's what we're looking for.
Have any community groups reached out to the police department in hopes of helping, whether it's in the surrounding areas you guys maybe aren't searching? Have they reached out with canines or services like that?
we brought in canines from actually from out of the area, from a missing person that specialized in missing persons. We brought them in the first night that we started our search. They picked up a scent initially, lost it, and we've not been able to pick it up since. The community at large has been very helpful in our efforts to find Lena. They've been very cooperative. Anything that they could offer, they did. Um, uh, the the two leaders that I mentioned in the Muslim community have been very helpful. We've been putting things out on social media in that dialect in Arabic, in hopes that someone will maybe be able to help us out.
How important is the first hours in a case like this?
Early on, it's very important, and then unfortunately, I have to say that the longer the time lapses, the less hopeful we become.
And I noticed you're working with the FBI. What about the Bear County Sheriff's Office?
No, we have not. We have not sought assistance from the sheriff's office.
Chief, as a parent, what do you say to other family members that live in that community or just in San Antonio in general? There's a lot of fear for any person who has children. Do you think they can play out something?
I think at this point, with all the publicity that's behind this, there's probably not a parent who would leave their child alone for a second at that age going forward. So obviously you have to take natural precautions, normal precautions when you're out with your child at a play, any public place. You have to take normal precautions.
Chief, do you mind, if you haven't already elaborated, what resources this FBI team has that you all don't that can consider this helping in this case?
They can if we have video that's not real clear, they can work on their end to clarify any video footage that's not clear. They have resources. They have boots on the ground here that are helping us canvass the area, and then there's a collaboration in trying to determine exactly what happened.
Has your search gone beyond San Antonio, or is it just here?
Not at this point.
Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, everybody.
Interesting. When you know what you know now.
Yeah.
And then his body language too. And then I forgot about when they asked if they asked for help from Bear County. He's like, his face, no.
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, that is a huge problem. I didn't realize just how bad in the San Antonio area alone. I mean, when you look at a particular place, there are so many in every street that you wouldn't know that they're there. But oh my gosh.
And I know the man from the tire store across the street, from everything I've read, he said that he actually gave them the complete footage of that day, but he couldn't get the side. It was just that main entrance coming in the front. These are all the mental notes too, guys. I might be a little obsessed. We're not going to watch it again because we know that. Well, wait 1 second. We got the update. So then December 22nd, the billboards go up, and man, those billboards went up fast.
Yeah, they did. Thank goodness.
Look at what the West Boys went through to get the billboards up. Gosh, I can't talk tonight. I keep seeing Kaz running across 4 lanes of traffic with a towel.
And don't forget my cane.
And the cane.
And I definitely wasn't running.
All right, so the videos I put here, to me, I just found interesting when I was going through everything about what's said. Because we have to remember, and I'm just going to say it, the day that, not the first visual, but the day when they went and spoke about to Lina. What was that?
the prayer one at the education centre.
Yes. What that was, let me look at the date. One sec, guys. There's some
That was
shady
February.
shit going on. Yeah, January 29th.
Yeah.
That's when Pamela O from here went and spoke. The same
Mhm.
Pamela O that was attacked by Pamela Allen's daughter in law. Well, not attacked, but cornered at the gas station. So we know that on that day, in his apartment, and I'm not going to, there's a fourth person guy, just not going to mention the name right now. But you can't expect to come to Kaz and I because, oh, let's go to them. They dig deep, and not to expect to flip the coin if someone's acting shady. I mean, because Kaz she worked in forensics. Do you guys understand this?
Yeah.
That day, the 29th, there was Nina, Pamela Owen, and there's a third person. And the backgrounds on these people are so much the same, but you cannot put four people into the nonprofit organization with all of this going on. It just there's
Yeah.
too many coincidences. Something, and let's not forget this real quick before I forget to talk about this tonight, because this to me is important. The maintenance man who I spoke to today, Guareo Garcia, he said that he started speaking to Tammy. Tammy is the one who owns the dog Bach. She's with Nina, right? Kaz, she brings the dog for the
Yes,
SATX search.
that's correct.
Okay. They started talking on January 15th. That's the day that the maintenance man lost his phone and she drove him to get the phone a couple miles away after his son found where his phone was.
Yeah.
Then on the 15th is the first time this maintenance man is mentioned. And he's not mentioned again until February 20th for Lena's birthday party. That's when pictures were being sent all around to people and to the police saying that he was taking pictures of girls at this birthday party, which we're not going to get into that whole long story. But is that a coincidence too? That you know him and the next thing you know, you're turning in his picture saying that he's taking pictures of girls when you're out and he's out there with you searching for Lena in the search group? Does that make it? I mean,
Well, you know my take on this from my background, and there is nothing in forensics that's a coincidence.
that's not a coincidence.
No.
There's something so wrong and out of place, but this is the article, the video I want to watch. It's a short one, but I'm so close to nailing it. Like I'm not nailing it, but figuring out what am I missing. And then you have to wonder why some people came to us. Oh, look at this. Look at now we're looking into you because you are suspect in my book. Not that you took or you have or you're setting up whatever, but it's just weird. And you can't make up the backgrounds. I mean, Kaz, you just every single one of them has a shit. I mean, I have a background. It's not a big deal, but I don't have a background for theft, and I'm not running a nonprofit organization.
Exactly.
Do you have to be a theft forge writer to get a nonprofit in San Antonio? I'm just wondering because they all seem to have one.
Yeah, that really is blew my mind that this could get passed. I mean, I know people in government get very busy when they're doing all this paperwork, and one may have, if you've got a story and you've got X amount of nonprofits in this story, and you find out that every single person who's got one of these nonprofits has a fraud charge. Now, it's just mind blowing that it got past the bureaucracy checks. Sorry, not bureaucracy. My mouth's not working. It's still filled with smoke. Oh God, my brain isn't
She's like,
working.
she's gonna be like Puff the Magic Dragon.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, when they go through all the checks, what they're supposed. Sorry, I will rephrase that.
Hey,
When
Merrick.
they're supposed to do all the checks, you know, going through, making sure that they adhere to this clause of the act and that clause of the act. You know, you're trained to look for these things.
Yeah,
You know,
but
that's your
Kaz.
speciality. But they're not doing it, darling. Is what I'm trying to say. Is how can
Yeah,
so
but
many get through?
you've got a CEO of a nonprofit for special needs kids that has a couple of things in her past. I know it was a while ago, but still. You have her director that has the same exact past. That once
Yeah,
had her own nonprofit, a cause for a cause, that she didn't pay her taxes and it was closed. Or
correct.
whatever you said what happened. Okay.
Yeah,
Then you have a woman coming on the scene, search and rescue, same past, at the house with Lena's father the day of that second prayer service
yeah. It's
with a third person that there's something like really sinister and shady going on, and I'm like, oh,
we will find it. I
I'm
mean,
gonna find it.
we won't stop
Yeah.
going through this. I mean, is it taking a lot of time? Absolutely. But is Lena worth it? Categorically.
Oh, it's absolutely worth it. Lena's absolutely worth it. And like I
Yeah.
said, I want to speak to Pamela, and I told Kaz I'm going to reach out to Pamela Allen and just ask her because the latest news, I start to wonder. My question now, and what I think, and I asked Kaz earlier, is: does somebody have a vendetta too against Pamela Allen? Like, let's get back at Pamela, and because one of the rumors is that Pamela Allen was the one, and I'm going to say it. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Pamela Allen was the one that sent the picture of the maintenance man supposedly taking pictures to the police. I call that 1,000% bullshit. You just can't tell me any different on that. I don't think she did it 1 second.
Can I
But
just
now I
suggest
know who
something?
did it.
Um, Hi, Human Animal. Love your channel, by the way, sweetheart. Human Animal said, is Lena definitely the biological daughter of Riaz? Yeah, yeah, we've seen the paperwork, so she is definitely their biological child. Oh, yep. I know who you're. I know who you're referring to. She's just got family commitments at the moment, so she's not able to join us. Which, you know, with everything that's going on out in the world, the not so nice things. So she's had to put family first, as she should.
Yeah, she's backing off because a couple people got the cease and desist letters too. Okay, let's
Yeah.
watch this video, guys, so that we don't go too long. Kaz got to get up now. I mean, now that she's not, she's definitely smoking. You're smoking, Kaz.
Smoking hot.
Smoking.
Multiple agencies, including the FBI, are searching for a missing 3-year-old who police say went missing from a San Antonio playground Monday afternoon. NBC News correspondent Maura Barrett has the story.
Tonight, San Antonio police eagerly searching for a 3-year-old girl, Lina Sardar Khil, who went missing from a playground on Monday. Police issuing an Amber Alert, calling the disappearance suspicious.
We are not stopping at the end of the shift. We'll continue to do this for the long haul if it's necessary.
The little girl's family, Afghan refugees who came to the U.S. in 2019, according to the San Antonio Center for Refugee Services. Lina, last seen playing at an apartment complex. Police say her mother stepped away briefly, but when she returned, her daughter was gone.
There were other folks in the playground with their children, and we're trying to identify all of them. But she wasn't left alone by herself. There were other folks in the playground.
San Antonio police checking cars going in and out of the complex and going door to door at all 300 units. The FBI even stepping in to help. The police asking for its child abduction rapid response team, though the department says they're not ready to call it an abduction case yet. The police also set up 2 command centers and are scouring security video. The Islamic Center of San Antonio offering a $10,000 reward. Tonight, the chief saying,
the community at large has been very, very helpful in our efforts to find Lina. We've been putting things out on social media in that dialect, in Arabic.
What's the timeline look like in terms of what needs to be done, or the likelihood of finding her 48 hours later or more after disappearing?
Whether she wandered off or was taken, the odds of her surviving or being found safely are going to go down as time goes on. This is a little girl who cannot fend for herself.
So sad. Maura joins us now. Maura, any other details that we can tell the viewers about Lina?
Well, Kate, when I was speaking to Dr. Fox, she noted that there is important research on missing persons that shows that the more media coverage there is, the more that is spread on social media with details like this can only be more helpful for police, though police did say today that they haven't been very successful in their search. And so it's important to note that Lina was last seen wearing a black jacket, a red dress, and black shoes. The 3-year-old girl is about 4 feet tall and weighs 55 pounds. Kate?
He says there was a lot of children and other mothers and adults at the time she went missing. 18 minutes.
Yeah.
So did the mom walk away at the perfect time? And I'm not saying the parents have anything to do with it. I just keep going back to thinking, if that is how it went down and we're waiting for Chisme to get a hold of a video that she went that night when it was busy, but we're going to try to look at it and clear out the faces without not being able to see the scene.
Yeah.
Because you just can't grab a little girl like that and she's not going to scream if she doesn't know who you are. It's a tight little area. I mean, we're not talking about a big open park.
No, it's not.
We're talking
It's
about a
not
dog
at all.
park fenced in between apartment buildings.
Yeah, and the area that they pretty much know where she was, the last place she was last seen was near the big tree that sits near one of the car parks that leads into the pavilion. So for somebody to be there at the opportune time, knowing that none of her parents would have been around there, and she just happens to be playing tag with the friends, and they run out, and then the rest of them run back, and Lina doesn't come back with them, doesn't gel with me. Do you know what I mean? It's too. I know, as I said, I don't believe in coincidences, so yeah, human animal. I'm pretty sure. I pretty agree with you though.
Okay, so then on the timeline, 22nd billboards, 23rd, the video I just showed, just an update with the police chief saying those few interesting things. The 23rd is the first interview we watched the other night. The 23rd is also when Lawang comes out and says that he is with a family friend and that they are from the same province in Afghanistan. First time I ever saw Lawang. Hang on, guys. Here's the dogs.
You know she wants to get on a live, Ma.
Oh, she's always yapping. Typical Chihuahua. I think she's almost done. No, hang on.
Mara sorted her out.
She doesn't listen. She barks as soon as my brother-in-law comes downstairs. She's like, oh, God. Okay, so back to the timeline real quick for December. So December 23rd is the first time I've ever saw Luong, and that was the video we saw yesterday where he says he's a friend of the families, and they were in the same province in Afghanistan. Then we've got this video, the 24th, when the chief speaks as an Islamic center.
Yeah.
The 24th is the long prayer visual, which we don't have to watch again because we've examined like every frame of that video. When the guardian angels came abroad. And we know Pamela Allen's husband's a guardian angel. But that's not a bad thing. December 29th, and then we'll get into that search real quick.
I mean, human animal, no, she's not.
They moved quick with this case in the beginning. Okay, so let's listen to what the chief says to the mosque.
As to what we did, the police did in this investigation. With me today is Justin Harris from the FBI, who's also assisting in this investigation. So at 7:15 in the evening, when we got word that Lina was missing, we immediately responded to the scene of the apartment complex.
Assalamu alaikum. زمانم چیف مکمنس دی زه د سن انټونیو د پولیسو قومندان یم عمومي قومندان او زما سره په څنګ کې جسټن دی چې هغه د فدرالي د ادارې یا د داخلي استخباراتو مسؤل دی د سن انټونیو د کار نو غواړم په هغه څه در سره وغږېږم چې موږ تر اوسه پورې څه ترسره کړي دي تر څو لینا سردارخیل پیدا کړو وایي چې د 7 بجو شاوخوا کې موږ خبر ترلاسه کړ د هغې نه وروسته موږ خپل فعالیت شروع کړو.
We reached out to the FBI. This is the Assistant Special Agent in charge, Justin Garris. We asked them for assistance and they immediately responded as well.
موږ چې څنګه خبر ترلاسه کړ موږ د FBI معاون د تحقیقاتو ته هغې سره متماس ونیوو دوی هم فوراً زموږ غوښتنې ته جواب وویل.
When we arrived on the scene, we immediately shut down the complex. We put police officers at every entrance and exit to keep people from coming and going. And everyone that did come and go, we checked their cars, we searched their cars, and we recorded their names and license plates.
کله چې موږ صحنې ته راورسېدو د پیښې صحنې ته هلته مو ټولو دخولي او خروجي لارو باندې پولیس مقرر کړل تر څو ساحه کنټرول کړي او هغه خلک چې دننه راننوتل او یا د باندې وتل د پیښې د سیمې څخه هغه مو تر خپل کنټرول باندې ونیول او د دوی د موټرو پلیټونه مو تر څارنې لاندې ونیول.
Over the next 2 days, we searched just under 300 apartments in that complex more than once.
او د پیښې نه په راتلونکي 2 ورځو کې تقریبا تر 300 نه زیات اپارتمانونه یا کورونه مو تلاشي کړل هغه هم څو ځلې مو تلاشي کړل.
We brought search dogs from an hour and a half away to the scene to help us search those apartments and search the surrounding area.
همدارنګه موږ د پلټنې سپي هم راوستل چې په هغوی باندې پلټنه هم ترسره کړو په هغه ساحه کې او همدا ډول په کورونو کې.
We collected video from all of the cameras in the area.
په هغه سیمه کې چې دا پیښه ترسره شوې ده ټولې کامرې چې نصب شوي دي د هغې کامرې ویډیوګانې مو ترلاسه کړې.
We had police officers in hazmat suits searching the dumpsters.
موږ پولیس د مخصوصو یا مشخصو کالیو سره د خزلو هغه ځایونو کې چې خزل اچوي یا تراشکینونو کې په هغې کې مو هم پلټنه ترسره کړه تلاشي مو وکړه تر څو چې هلته موږ سره کې پیدا شي.
We spoke with everyone that we came in contact with and looked for even more people who we did come in contact with to ask them about Lina.
او د لینا په حق مو د هر چا نه پوښتنه وکړه، هر څوک چې زموږ مخې ته راتلل او هر څوک چې موږ په دغه ساحه کې لیدل د هغې په حق مو ورنه پوښتنه وکړې او د هغې په
This is just where he's just basically telling them everything that they've done so far, but he told us that in the video before. But he goes to the center. Leslie before was PA involved before that event. The first time I put her so far in the picture is on January 3rd. The nonprofit group joins the search for missing child. Now that could be for the day, but I'm still trying to figure out the exact date, but it's somewhere between the 3rd and obviously the 20th. Wong made his first appearance December 23rd.
Yeah. That's right. Gamer guy, who you're asking is who back? He said, is she back yet? Who's she?
Hey, Elisa. And December 24th is when they held the prayer service, the Facebook one, where the kid with the mask and the red shirt and, the guardian angels light the candle. And yes, Pamela's husband, are they guardian angels? Do they have friends in the guardian angels? I think her husband might be in the guardian angels.
Yeah, they do belong to a bike club. Ginny, we never actually saw the law enforcement or FBI. There's no videos of them actually going door to door and doing those searches. The searches that videos have been put out are by Chisme, where she went on her own reconnaissance. Plus, there were where the volunteers had scheduled searches, and of course, when the divers checked out the creek. But I've never seen anything in regard to the door-to-door. They wouldn't do that because they'd risk showing somebody's actual face.
Something is so off.
And Leslie, the first prayer vigil that was done was in December. It was at the end of December.
The first one is this one right here.
Hi, Lisa, darling.
The birthday girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long interview with the chief, but I just wanted to refresh on that. Then he went to the Islamic Center. This was the first one.
Yeah.
The long one. It's 46 minutes long. But hello, Pamela. All right, guys, I got a couple minutes. I want to end it because we're on the last day of December. And this is when the SATX joined the search. I've got it so far pinned at December 29th. I'll tell you what, though, these people, I don't get how you can run a nonprofit organization even with, one of them with the alcohol and the minors, you just can't make this shit up.
I know, it's crazy. All I can say is no background checks were performed prior to them getting this. But as I showed you on the forms, they don't actually ask that question, which is bizarre.
Not your average bish. Hey, Chisme. I love Chisme's accent.
Hi,
Every
Shana.
time we talk on the phone, she makes me laugh, and I'm like, I'm not laughing. I love your accent. Who is she talking about? Not your average bish. I don't know.
I think she's referring to Pamela Allen. Oh no, why is SATX not searching but still asking for money? That's the other non-for-profit. It's a very good question.
Was the NP already involved at the prayer service? What is the NP? What's the NP, Kaz? I got like 5 minutes before I turn into a pumpkin.
Okay, yeah, I've got to watch the time. NP, what's it? I'm not sure, Leslie. Can you, what's the NP stand for? Yes, Aurora is definitely on panel tonight, everyone. She's in the
She's
top right-hand
watching
corner of your screen. She's watching.
with those little hands, like
non-for-profit. Okay,
she's got a little tiny cookie in her hands.
Okay, understand now,
Non-profit.
Leslie. Sorry,
Okay.
the non-profit.
We're trying to.
They
We're not.
were approached.
We're a little old, but we're starting to learn codes and initials. Non-profit already involved. Okay, well, that's what I'm trying to pinpoint. Because right now, this prayer service right here was held December 24th, Christmas Eve. The first time I have them talking about Pamela Allen so far is on
January
3rd.
But we definitely know that she was contacted prior to that date, hence the prayer service
Exactly.
that was held.
So she was
just
already
trying
there.
to find the actual date.
Yeah, so she was definitely there before then, is what I'm saying, because she's at the prayer service. But between this article and before the prayer service, I can find nothing about them discussing her. But then again, I think I have like 8 pages of videos left.
Yeah.
So this will probably definitely be updated.
Oh, I knew what PR meant. I knew that one.
But she was definitely involved because she spoke at the visual. I mean, she's right. She spoke. And she was introduced as the advocate for the family.
Yeah.
Nonprofit. We're getting schooled, Kaz.
We are. That's fine. I'm always up for learning, even at my age.
Right? She took him shopping and was on the news.
Yeah, we just got to find the video because we're all about receipts. So we want to be able to have that video to show you and not just say it.
Well, let's watch this and we're going to end it after this video.
Yeah.
This is the last day of January. And this is
December, darling.
I mean, December. And this is when Nina Glass joins the search. Now, maybe a couple of days before this, but this is basically around the time. Come on. Oh, shit. That scared me.
A piece of clothing and their own canine search team. It's what volunteers with a local search and rescue group are hoping will help bring answers in the search for little Lina Khil.
She's that 3-year-old girl. She disappeared 10 days ago while playing on a playground in her Northwest Side apartment complex.
Now, Japhanie Gray takes us to the area where volunteers are hoping to find that Lina herself or any piece of evidence in her disappearance are going to turn up.
Please be careful. They've all seen a picture of what the little girl was wearing. They know she has a jacket and black shoes. So anything in that nature to say that a child was coming through there.
Nina Glass is the director of Search and Rescue SATX, an organization established following the disappearance of Andrea McDonald in 2019. This morning, the group hit the ground running, spending hours combing through the medical center field along Floyd Curl Drive.
What SAPD is doing, we're going outside of their search area and helping them.
Like SAPD and the FBI, They hope to find 3-year-old Lina Khil, who disappeared from the Villas del Cabo apartments about 3 minutes down the road. The group, which broke off into several teams, is also using their own canine unit to find clues.
We got an article of clothing from the family, so he's on a scent tracking mission.
We run into some barbed wire. We've got gloves, we've got long sleeve, we've got pants, boots, all that stuff to kind of help us, help protect us.
The walk hasn't been easy for volunteers out here, most of them carrying a staff like this to make it through thick brush that's throughout the medical center field, looking for clues that may lead them to Lina, who they fear may possibly be out here scared and alone.
It's heartbreaking.
It's really scary.
She could be out here and dehydrated and hiding because she's scared. I do know there's a language barrier.
We're expecting some colder weather come this Sunday, and so that's pretty frightening.
Glass says they are following this case closely. They're asking anyone interested in volunteering for one of their searches to reach out to their Facebook page.
We'll continue like we did with Andreen.
Japhanie Gray, KSAT 12 News.
And hopefully by the next live, I will have it pinpointed when she showed up. But yeah, there's some weird stuff going on. And there's a lot of people working that just have the same record. And it's just it's petty theft. It's not like millions of dollars and they pulled like a set it off bank robbery. But still. It's just their background is so much identical. It's like you have to look and see what background the name is because you're like, holy shit, you cannot make this up.
Yeah, because you think, when I'm doing the checking, I'm thinking, hang on, I just read exactly the same thing on somebody else's.
4 of them. Pamela Allen has a little bit of a criminal history. I know it's petty, but still. I'm petty sometimes, but I guess you've got Tammy Martinez. You've got Nina Glass, and there's a 4th one that I'm just not going to mention right now.
We won't stop digging, Leslie.
No, we're not going to stop looking. We're not going to stop looking. We're not going to stop digging. We'll
Just
see what
take
happens.
time.
But the timeline is interesting. And Sherry, I got your email, and Kaz said she wants to do that. You did.
I did.
Well, Leslie, she's got a background.
Yeah.
Do you want to just... she's got the same thing. You want to read it real quick, just the background part, and we'll close it on that? I'm sorry, but this is the facts. You cannot be in the eye. And now that I found out that she was actually at the house, I was mind blown. I really was mind blown. And then I thought, Kaz, run the background on the 4th person. And when Kaz pulled that background, and this is nobody in the public eye, but somebody that we know that is somehow going to figure it out. I'm just like,
no. I thought you could talk about Nina.
Yeah, we're not going to stop.
Yeah, Nina's got sort of theft up to 500.
Come on, it's not like we're paying or doing anything. If you know how to work the computer and look around at things, this is public knowledge. This is not like we're giving you her address or whatever. She's a known person on this case. She's in the public eye. Her name is out there, and she's looking for a missing child. But why then? Why did you find it, or do I have to show them where she tells them to stop looking again? Like why are we stopping searching for Lina?
Well, we're not going to.
Well, they are. They are done searching.
Well, if I will quote what Mrs. Allen said was, she said in that last interview that she gave in one of the offices at Beck Police, that she said her organisation was only going to be involved with the searches once they'd completed the green belt. And that green belt had been completed.
McMahon said that he was never going to stop.
Well, yeah. Leslie, the SATX, we just don't know how that these people who do have, be it minor, but it's fraud, again, that one of the charges is fraud. How the dickens is the government allowing people who have fraud charges, they've been convicted of them, are getting these non-for-profits, then getting money from donations and doing what they do with it? I don't think it's right.
No, Shredder, no. I found out who was actually, well, we found out who was actually at the apartment with
At
the
least
day
mum and
of
dad's
the
apartment.
second prayer service where Pamela O spoke.
Yeah. We knew one person was going, but these other two individuals invited themselves and just kind of pushed themselves
Well, no, I
into
wouldn't
that
say
apartment.
that. I wouldn't, Kaz, I wouldn't say that. We don't know how anyone got there, but they
Well,
were
from the
there.
information that we got, they weren't invited by Riaz.
No, they were
Well,
not.
that's what I mean when I say it's just like if I invite somebody over, they're an invited guest. If somebody just rocks up, they just, come off their own bat
You
and
know,
just rock up at your house.
this is why, in my mind, I know for a fact, like, everyone can agree to disagree, but I'm telling you for a fact, this is not a random kidnapping. This is
No.
not somebody who said, "Oh, you know what? I'm gonna go." No, this person, Lena knew who this person was. This was someone that she would have been very comfortable going with, and obviously, it didn't look weird in the community with their neighbors.
And they had to have been able to speak Pashto because that is the only language that Lena knows and understands
Yes,
fluently. All
unless God
right, my
forbid, like I said, unless God forbid it was a real weirdo that just happened to be hanging out in those little bushes and said, "Oh, look at that one. I think that's the mom to that one. Oh, look at there's 10 kids around, but I'm going to wait for her to go grab something and I'm going to grab this one right here." I think Lena would have been found by now.
Yeah, me too.
But I just feel that we don't have a dog collector, but I feel someone has collected her and still has her. Something tells me it might have been for the money. But why haven't they done it yet? Like the money's big, 250,000. Why wouldn't you just drop her off or make a phone call?
That's right. I think they're just waiting for it to keep going up personally because it has. It's gone from 10,000 to 250,000.
Yeah.
That's a big chunk of money.
All right. Yeah. Just tell the charges and we'll end it on that. So I'm gonna say goodnight now, guys. But we'll wait.
Good night,
Listen,
guys.
listen to the charges first. But I'm gonna mute down. Stay
Yeah,
vigilant, guys. Keep your baby safe. We'll go live in a couple of days with the month of January. Hopefully before
Made
that found. But yeah, read the charges. We know Pamela's. We know the Shannon's, the director. Now we have this one.
Nina, yeah. The charges are that she had alcohol made available to minor possession of alcohol beverage, making alcohol available to minors, theft, 2 lots of theft by fraudulent purposes of between $550 and $500 on each offence.
There it is. It's like a slot machine. Dun 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 dun. Theft fees, theft charge, 0 to 500.
And was it a few years ago? Absolutely. But again, unless you get these expunged and put away, they're sitting there for anybody to see. So, this should have come up when you were applying for in my opinion, they should come up when they are applying for a
It's just weird.
non-for-profit.
You
Yeah.
got 3 people searching for a little girl that all have the same background and run nonprofits, and one failed nonprofit who's now the director of the Eagles flight.
Yeah.
Something's just weird. And then the other,
Yeah.
and then Tammy. Like, why was Tammy texting with the maintenance man? I mean, weeks before. Then next thing you know, 5 days before the picture is turned in, he's being talked about as, oh, there's a guy that blah blah blah, and then boom, he disappears at the birthday party, and
Yeah,
you're trying to
it's
say,
bizarre.
oh, this man's taking pictures of what? Are you? It is completely like almost like they're trying to literally put this on the maintenance man.
Yeah, it's wrong on so many levels.
Something is so weird, but we'll keep digging.
We will.
All right, everyone, have a great week.
Yes.
Good night.
Please don't do what I do.
Yeah,
Good
run
night,
naked.
everybody.
Lube yourself up and run around naked.
Half naked, thank you. Get it right.
All right. Good night, guys.